Well, I want to welcome everybody here to Rosalind Franklin University, and I'd like to say a few words about the Innovation and Research Park. I have a script, but they can't keep me on a script, so we'll just swing it. I can see our PR people. As I look at Mayor Rockingham and Michael Rosen, it's a little bit of a trip down memory lane. The initial concept for this research park really originated in early 2016 in conversations I had with Michael Rosen, international consultant on research parks, and Tom Dennison, who I first met in December of 2015. And I remember talking with the mayor at a charity event, Dance for Diabetes, in January of 2016. I was explaining this idea that we really wanted to try to do this, and what did he think about it? And his enthusiasm was contagious. And between the two of us, I thought we were going to start dancing, together. And so that was the gestation. We wrote a white paper on this. Our board of trustees got excited about it. And you can see, a few years later, the building is be completed over the next few months. Now, exactly what are we referring to, and why do we want to do an innovation and research park? So phase one, which we're in the midst of now, is a new 100,000 square foot laboratory/office building. The ratio of labs to offices is about 70%, 30%. 2/3 of the building are our academic labs moving into the new research space. So we think this is essential to enable us to continue to provide our scientists with cutting-edge research tools. For retention and our next level of recruitment of top scientists into this region, we've got to give them state-of-the-art space. The remaining 1/3, so about 32,000 square feet of this building, will be a combination of incubator space for new startup companies that originate from RFU faculty, as well as regional startup companies. So it's not linked to RFU oriented startup companies, but regional startup companies, as long as they focus on some aspect of healthcare, biomedical science, research, education, et cetera. And then the remainder of the space, probably about 27,000 square feet, is our hope is to attract industry into this space, industry related to our core research missions. Now, one of the reasons we want to do this, when you look at our metrics, we have 45 individual laboratories. Our publication rate, our extramural grant dollar per individual investigator, those metrics are very high. So our basic science discovery work is terrific. But part of our mission is not only advancement of knowledge, but it's translation of that knowledge into products and therapeutics that actually keep us alive longer and in a healthier manner. And for that, we need industry expertise. We need to ally ourselves with industry expertise, our basic scientists with industry scientists. And so we are designing this building so that on each floor there will be academic labs and industry labs, and they will be sharing common spaces, so meeting rooms, break rooms, conference rooms, bathrooms, autoclaves. They'll be bumping into each other all day. So the premise is if we can increase the collision frequency between industry folks and academic folks, they won't only be colliding, but they'll be talking about stuff, especially as they're getting the Starbucks, and the muffins. That's always a good conversation starter, and the break rooms. One of the things we've done is we've totally reorganized our scientific structure. So prior to about 9 months ago, we had a very traditional department-based science structure, so biochemistry department, a physiology department, et cetera. We've reorganized that, and we've taken all the science aspects of faculty members' portfolios and put them into research-oriented disease centers. So we formed 6 disease centers. 3 of them are housed in a brain science institute. So in that institute, we have a neurodegenerative disease center that focuses on Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington's. We have a brain function repair group that focuses basically on stem cell approaches for brain regeneration. We have a 3rd center that focuses on stress resilience, anxiety disorders, management of chronic pain, and development of therapeutics. Other centers, we have one for rare genetic diseases, a proteomics center, and we are in the middle of a national recruitment for director of our cancer center. So all of our science is now in these disease-focused research centers. We think that increases our synergy, co-locating labs around common themes, as well as ability to get large amounts of federal, center-based federal funding. Also, what this allowed, the directors of these new centers, we have allowed them to design their own lab space within limitations, but it turns out, you know, I'm trained as a biochemist, and one of the things I've learned is that not all labs should look like a biochemistry lab. So what an electrophysiologist needs is vastly different. So each center has been able to design their own space to accommodate the kinds of science they're doing now and they foresee doing as they grow over the next 5 or 10 years. As part of this progress, there's a really important social and economic imperative that is core to this university's mission. We reside within North Chicago. 5 miles to the south of us, you have Lake Forest. Right? You have tremendous economic and health challenges in that difference. This Lake County Partners did an economic assessment for us. The 1/3 component of this building that will be new people coming into this region, it's estimated when the building is full, will have approximately $120 million annual economic impact on this region. That's significant. We've worked with the city. We've been able to extend the enterprise zone to include our campus, so that offers companies that want to locate economic advantages. We were able to get a $2.5 million federal new market tax credit program, and we're using those funds. Partly, we bought a new community care coach, which delivers in a mobile manner health care to underprivileged communities in Lake County. We are also starting a job training program. It's called MLA Flex. Allows people to study while they work and provide certificate and laboratory training to help employability in this region. This is, and I have to be careful about this, this is phase 1. It's a proof of concept. If we can succeed at phase 1, and that is filling this building with industry, our long-term goal is to make the Rosalind Franklin University campus the epicenter of academic industry exchange and collaboration within Lake County. We have a vision for a phase 2 and phase 3, which would be a second and third building. When I presented this to our board of trustees, I said this is somewhere between a vision and a hallucination. It depends on the success of phase 1, and then we'll see about a phase 2 and a phase 3. But just imagine if we're able to succeed at phase 1, when we calculate the economic impact of phase 2 and phase 3, you're talking north of $500 million per year on this region. This is a big deal. This is a way to really catalyze significant enhancement and change in this region. We need partners of every sort. We're trying to fill the building with tenants, business development, philanthropy, all sorts of things. I'm not here to make a pitch, but I want you to be aware of what we're trying to do, and partners are a good thing. I think I've covered the bullet points that Michael gave me. Be happy to take any questions, if anybody. Yes?
How much of this is public and private dollars to actually build a facility?
So we linked up, the building is a $50 million building. We linked up with a 501c3, a nonprofit developer called the University Financing Foundation. Their mission statement is to help universities build research buildings and educational buildings. They showed us the way to go to the public markets for this funding, and we actually got rated by S&P and Fitch, so that's an interesting experience. And we got a pretty good rating, BBB+. We decided to refund the entire university debt, including this building, in the public markets. Within 20 minutes, they had to close the bidding because we had over a 10-fold excess of bids versus what we were trying to fund, and then we could downward negotiate the interest rates. So initially, it's all, public bond. I'm not sure I got the right verbiage here, but this is a scientist's way of explaining this funding. We have $2.5 million of the new market tax credit funding, which has helped with this. And we have some philanthropic funding, which has helped support equipping the building. Other questions? Okay, I understand you're going on a tour later, so I can't wait for you to see what we're trying to do. Thank you.